And hello, we are live once again for another episode of Alejandro and Bob Unplugged. Alejandro Tornato here, coming directly from Beaufort, Georgia. And it's always great to be connecting with all of you, and not just with all of you, but with the person that I have on my right hand side, Mr. Bob DiGiacomo. How are you doing, Bob?
Hey, I'm doing well. Let me first give you a round of applause here. A round of applause.
Excellent. Yes.
Why do I say that? Because we're doing something special this evening. First of all, we're broadcasting this evening. Got my fingers crossed that the internet is going to hold out.
Of course it will. Of course it
Absolutely
will.
positive.
That's right.
But we're not just broadcasting live to Facebook.
No, we are broadcasting today. We are broadcasting to both platforms, Facebook, to my page on Facebook, and YouTube. So two platforms. I am doubly excited because of that.
Well, I need to recommend to people that they push this other button called subscribe, and not just to your channel, but to my channel too, which is under Robert DiGiacomo,
That's exactly right.
because that's where we post the Alejandro and Bob Unplugged videos that come as a result of this. But sounds like though that we'll probably be able to post them to both pages
Yeah,
moving forward.
that's exactly right. So no matter what, we have a goal, we have a desire to become the kings of social media. Okay, so we are just keep plowing, and we are going to just get so much content and so many videos, and we will not stop until you, in your comments, you said, we are sick and tired of looking at you and listening to you up until, and even when you make that comment, we'll say, okay, well, that's okay. You don't have to keep listening to us. But for those of you who want us again, then we will keep showing up, my friend.
You remind me of that politician out there that was reminding all these people that they were going to get tired of winning. Get tired of winning. And of course, I know that you commended me this evening for having this marvelous thing on my head, which at one point I was wearing like that. And you said, oh, the guy from Star Trek, The Next Generation, of course. And I went out and got these headphones because I was getting a little tired of those thingamaboppies. So hopefully the sound is a lot better tonight. Is this?
The sound is sharp, is clear, and I can see that just because of the size and weight of those earphones, because they are balanced, your head is not tilted either to the right or to the left. I mean, your head is propped up in the right way. So
I shouldn't sit like this. It probably is a weird picture. Looks
that,
like
that
you just put my head on top of my shoulders, but it's not the head that belongs here. So let me rise to the occasion.
that's exactly right.
Some great and exciting news before we get started, because I know you have no clue what's coming tonight, because this is truly unplugged. I told you what the topic is going to be, and but you still have no clue, because you're not that you're clueless, because that's certainly not the case. But in this particular case, you don't have a clue. You may have an idea, but once I start, you're going to jump on this thing like a live hand grenade, because you're going to know where I'm going. But wait, there's more. I've got 3 other questions I'm going to come at you with after we go through the initial questions. And I know you don't know those questions, but you're going to have plenty to say on it. Excuse me. But I have some great news. Soon, within the next probably 2.5 weeks, I'll have my proper headphones on that are my more professional ones, and my good professional microphone, because I'm not going to be here. Oh, by the way, did we mention that I'm coming to you from beautiful and sunny Bermuda? It's still sunny over there. The sun is starting to go down. And oh my gosh, if you have never seen some of the pictures I've posted of the sunsets in Bermuda,
They must be
because
absolutely awesome.
but where I'm presently living right now, I don't get to see those sunsets. So I'm getting used to going without, because soon I will be without. But
Okay.
but where I'm going is an area where they call the big sky. Literally, it's just sky. And in the evenings, I have seen some really majestic sunsets in that area that are not equivalent, well, equivalent to these, different perspective, different
Okay.
perspective. So, are you ready to jump in?
I am. Listen, I am ready because uh, since the very moment that you said, okay, well, what is going to be the topic for today, and you presented me to with two options,
Hmm.
and then after evaluating each option very carefully, then I said, just because I consider myself a curious person and an explorer. When I saw three questions, I said, "Well, I really don't have a freaking clue what those three questions are,
Family
but
show, family
but
show.
that intrigues me. That intrigues me. So let's just dive deeply into these
Okay,
three wonderful questions.
because we're setting the table also for Friday, because
Okay,
we already have the topic picked for Friday that you and I chatted about last night.
that's right.
And again, when you caught on to what I was coming at you with, you said, "Oh my gosh, this is going to be a great week." Now, you're going to see me doing this every once in a while, because at this time of the day, as the sun is going down, those little critters are starting to fly around. And by the way, I'm outside.
Of course, I
I
know that
mean,
you're.
I mean, what better way to broadcast? How you doing? Um, these are some things that will change when I'm no longer here.
Listen, Bob. I am so happy that you were doing that before, but since the time that we did that episode on ecotherapy, I mean, you have been an exemplary uh, product of what true ecotherapy is all about, and I'm so proud of you.
But do realize that I am fully dressed, because in these pictures you just realize I have a shirt on, and but for the sake of argument, I am fully dressed. I wouldn't want to be walking around without being that way. So here we go. Question number one: do you like me?
Well, I think this is a family show, isn't it? I mean, Bob.
Uh,
Um,
so do you want me to give you question two and three at the same time so you can fully process?
well, let me before you shoot me with question two and three. Let me just try to take a stab at question number one. Do I like you? Well, I certainly do like you as a dear friend, as a colleague, as someone, I mean, who I feel so comfortable collaborating and adding value to other people together, as someone with whom I can bounce ideas and get great answers. And for those and many other reasons that have to do with our friendly relationship and professional relationship, I do like you a lot.
Okay, because what would happen if you were dealing with people? Oh, and by the way, Mr. Malcolm just came home, and I know you like his house a lot, so I thought I better quickly show you his house.
That's right. I love the orange house. Yes. Thank
So
you.
I'll let Mr. Malcolm know that you've once again said, Malcolm, the guy in Atlanta really likes your house. Yeah. He's asking what's it worth to you, because he's gonna make you an offer you can't refuse.
Oh my goodness. I mean, well, right now I think that we are on a different subject, so
Oh,
I am
okay,
not
okay.
thinking
We'll
numbers.
we'll talk about that later. All right. So what would happen? Good evening, sir. What would happen in a situation if you were working with people and they got the impression that you didn't care for them, you didn't like them, you didn't think enough of them, you thought you were so high and mighty that everybody else was beneath you?
Um, well, I think that for once, um, depending on what is the relationship between you and those people. Perhaps, I mean, you are a manager to them. I mean, there are people that report to you. But in any kind of a situation, if that were the scenario, I think that would shut off any kind of effective communication between them and you. That's for sure, because you cannot, in my opinion, and I think that in everybody within the personal growth and development industry, I think that we all agree that you cannot have a good connection and good communication and effective communication with anybody if you think that you are above them.
And what's the
It's
other
impossible.
what's the other C word that goes with that? Communication and
Connection.
of course.
That's right.
Of course, of course. So speaking of communication and connection, I've got to put in a little advert here. People need to go to iTunes, and I believe we're also on Google Play, and look up Alejandro and Bob Unplugged.
Okay.
And I just published another one of our awesome podcasts up there this morning. So people could subscribe to that, because in this day and age, people go walking, they go driving, they go whatever, and they can download, or if they have unlimited data. You guys in the States, you have unlimited data. Over here, I get
Yeah.
burned. But you
Well,
can,
but you can. I mean, they can go. They can go to. Right now, I don't know whether to call it iTunes or Apple Podcasts. I don't know if it's the
yeah,
same thing
yeah.
or if it's a different thing. But they can go to Apple Podcasts, and we are there. I mean, it's a great
Alejandro
thumbnail. Alejandro and
and
Bob
Bob.
Unplugged.
You're probably right, because see, I'm old school. iTunes, but you're right. And guess what? Today is the WWDC, I think, as they call it, and who knows? They may come out with a different name for the doggone thing. But we're there.
Yes.
We're there, and you can take us with you on this wonderful thing and go walking. And you know, I don't want to let the cat out of the bag, but when my kids were growing up and we used to drive in the same car because they went to the same school I worked at, the wife and I, so we were all in the same car, and I would put in these positive motivational CDs in, and that's what we would listen to going back and forth.
Sure.
And one of my kids one day says, "Well, Dad, we're always listening to that. Can't we have some music?" I said, "You want music? No problem." So I took out one of the positive motivational CDs that was music. Put that in. There's no winning. There's no winning with me. But you know what? They turned out pretty doggone good, those kids of mine. So, you ready for question two?
I'm ready for question two.
And I have a feeling once I give you question two and you associate it with question one, you're probably going to know where I got these three questions from.
Okay.
Question number two: what's in it for me? What are you going to do for me?
I mean, that's a very important question, and that's a question that it doesn't matter in what industry you happen to be, but you, Bob, and me, we are in the leadership, personal growth, coaching, intentionality industry. So we love to help people get to their next level of growth in their life,
Mm-hmm.
and that question, it's a question that, as a speaker and as a coach and as a trainer, um, I don't know. I mean, if we should ask that question, what's in it for me? Because our primary mission is to bring value and to help other people.
So
And
so so
and,
there
and by
therein li-
doing
there,
by yes, by doing that, we are benefiting ourselves.
therein lies the reciprocal part of the answer. But
That's
let's
right.
turn it around. I'm going to work with you hypothetically. You're asking me because you first question you asked me was, "Do you like me?"
That's right.
The second question that I asked you, or I should say, the second question that you asked me back is, "Okay, you like me, but what are you going to do for me?"
That's right.
So we turn it around. I know we're going to get uh, sustenance in a way because we're being fed by the positive attributes that we are shedding on the other individual, and it becomes a symbiotic
That's right.
relationship. It's a catalyst. It's an enzyme catalyst. All things we've talked about before.
I think that one word that we can apply to that process is what I believe Stephen Covey calls it synchronicity. I mean that synchronicity process between one person, between the giver and the receiver, in a
Hmm.
sense.
So let me hit you with question three, because remember, I've got three other questions that you don't have any knowledge about. But
Okay.
I know you know these three questions.
Okay.
We're just not telling people where it came from, but we will in a moment. The last question is that you would be asking me if I were working with you, or vice versa. Can I trust you?
Oh, that's a key question. And I would say of all these three questions, um, even though the three are tremendously important questions to ask,
Hmm.
but I truly believe that this last question, it's it reveals the secret, because I truly believe that you cannot even begin to work with anybody if that person, first of all, spend some time building rapport and building trust and
Hmm.
building what is also called trustworthiness with a person. And Bob, you heard it so many times. People do business with whom? With people that they like, that they trust. And what is the third thing?
Well, what are you going to do for me?
That's exactly right. And so, but the element of trustworthiness with a person is essential, because if you don't trust someone, uh, let's be honest, are you going to risk doing anything with that person before you actually get to know that person at a deeper level?
Because you don't know that you don't know that you don't know.
That's exactly right.
What lies around that next corner? What's hidden
That's
in the
exactly
box? What's hidden in the box that Jay has on the stage? Or would you like curtain number one, number two, or number three?
right.
But this is a great opportunity to let everybody know that these questions, these three questions, are three important questions that come from the first couple of laws of the 21 irrefutable laws of leadership. And it's not the law of the lid, it's the second law. And I have a feeling at some point in the near future, we're probably, because I'm just thinking this out loud, and I know that because we're in sync and we tend to think alike, I have a feeling sometime in the near future, we're probably going to go through these 21 laws unplugged.
That would be a great idea. And yeah, that
I
that
mean,
would be.
can I trust you on that?
Oh, you can certainly trust me, of course, because I think that um, uh, even though I truly believe that when it comes to the subject of leadership, and and of course, I mean, we both know and we have been mentored by John Maxwell. I mean, which is one of the most renowned people in the world in the subject of leadership and personal growth. But when it comes to leadership, I truly believe that the 21 irrefutable laws of leadership um, are the foundational uh, tree trunk of the subject of leadership, and
It's
it would be a great study. I mean, to do an unplugged series of the 21 laws, because I think that people are going to receive tremendous value out of that.
it's kind of like a philosophy.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. And perhaps, I mean, then afterwards, I don't know. It depends. It depends. I mean, how we do it. I don't know if we may be able. That's something that I don't know yet, but we may be able to package that. I mean, for people, I mean, to get access to that, because we are going to add our own personal unpluggedness and content to it, and so that may be. I don't know. It might just
I
be a product that we may offer to people.
I agree, and I know you're having a good laugh because the bugs are starting to get me some. But let me go into these next questions, and as I ask these next several questions, I want the people at home to participate because this is where the rubber meets the road. And so the first question, which is really the fourth question, but we'll call it the first question: what have I done today that I am happy with?
Oh, what have I done today that I am happy with? I mean, that's um, these are, you see, this is a reflective question that
Hmm.
most likely, I mean, you don't ask that question early in the morning when you first wake up. Okay, so you have to have the day, and but this is a great question to reflect and to ask yourself, as perhaps even before you put your head in the pillow at night, before you get into that sleeping zone, or even, I mean, as you get into bed, I mean, perhaps you sit in bed, and with a journal on your
Hmm.
hand, and a pen, and you can think about the day, and what have you done, or what happened today that has made you happy.
So
And I'm sure that at least there, listen, it doesn't have to be rocket science, my friends. It could just be that that morning, you woke up with great energy, and then you just sat and enjoyed a good flavoring cup of coffee, reading a great book, and that made you happy. And that is, I mean, nothing complex, nothing complicated.
so what I'm hearing you also say is that you're setting the table the night before when you're about to end the day so that there's positive going through the subconscious there during the night, and you have no choice but to wake up ready and raring to go. And I know we're running close on time, so let me come into the second question.
Okie dokie.
What has someone else done that I am happy with or grateful for? What has someone else done that I am happy with and grateful for? Now here's the second part of that question. And how did I react so that person might be encouraged to do it again?
That's also a great question, and that you can take it, in different directions. I mean, in the context of a family, I mean, what has someone in the family done that has made you happy? What has your wife done? What has your husband done? What has your children done? Whatever, whoever may be that is living with you and part of the family, that's one. Another thing is that in a context of a professional career and work, you get to your office. Perhaps, I mean, what has another colleague or another employee done, or even your boss or someone in the organization that interacts with you? What have those people done that have made you happy? Perhaps you were in a meeting and you propose an idea, and someone agreed with that, and someone thought that it was a great idea and that made you happy. Perhaps in the context of a team, someone encouraged you and gave you words of encouragement and uplifted your spirit. I mean, that could have made you happy. Too many things.
And then the second part of that is to be an encourager,
That's right.
so they will want to do it again, because it doesn't that touch on my law of retaliation, like attracts like.
That's right.
So
And if you receive encouragement, and I think that I did, I did a lesson just a few days ago from the Maxwell Daily Reader on the power of encouragement. Um, uh, if you want people to do more and to be more and to excel even more, don't be a discourager. Don't discourage them. Be an encourager. Encourage them, because everybody, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, every single person in this world wants to be encouraged.
and
Everyone.
and encourage has the word courage in it.
That's
It
right.
has the word courageous in it.
Hmm. That's
Now,
right.
let me speaking about power, because I'm almost out of battery here, so I need to, and we've only got a couple of minutes left. Question 3 is sort of like question 1, but yet it's not question 1. It's question 3. What do I see around me, hear, feel, smell, taste, that I am happy with or grateful for?
Well, I think that that is a quick answer. I think that we should be grateful for everything that is around us. If we can see beauty in the world, I mean, that should make us happy and grateful. If we taste good food, that should make us grateful. If we smell good aromas outside, I mean, that so. I think that is part of living a full life and looking at life with the right kind of glasses, because there's many people who look at life from a very pessimistic and miserable kind of existence. And we should be looking at life as as a daily gift. And if tomorrow you happened to wake up in the morning, that should in itself, that should make you grateful and thankful and
So,
live to the fullest.
so I'm going to let you close this out in a second here. The fact that you can hear, hear, feel, smell, taste means that you have been blessed.
That's right.
And the other aspect of that is, oh my gosh, think of those who cannot do that. And oh my gosh, what if tomorrow morning you woke up and suddenly you couldn't hear, you couldn't feel, you couldn't smell, you couldn't taste? Any of those 4 items disappeared.
That's right.
Be thankful.
Exactly.
Bring us
Exactly.
bring us home, Alejandro.
Well, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I mean, so it's amazing. With Alejandro and Bob Unplugged, we are always expanding, just like the universe, because we started with 3 questions and we ended up with 6. So everything just multiplies with us. And I love that spirit of not addition, but multiplication. And with that, thank you, Bob. It's been a pleasure sharing these 6 questions with you. And to everyone, listen to that, subscribe to the YouTube channel, search for the Alejandro and Bob Unplugged podcast. And we are we need your encouragement in order for us to do more, better, and to help you reach higher
Hey,
levels in your
hey,
life.
and if anybody wants those questions, we'll be happy to provide them. They just have to ask for them by leaving a comment in
Yeah.
the
Yes.
comment
And
section.
excellent. Thank you very much. Hey, live every single moment. Be resilient and also be kind, be passionate, be intentional,
There you
and
go.
be well. Until the
All
next
right.
time, take care. Bye bye.
Bye, everybody.